Okay, so why don't we do the announcers?
Okay.
You said you wanted to go last on this?
Yeah.
Fran?
Yeah, sure. I think it's no surprise. Number one on my list is Ben Dodge.
Sure.
Just iconic. That voice, multiple tracks throughout New England. Actually, he's done all 3 Connecticut tracks, and obviously everyone remembers him from Riverside. But next one's another Riverside, Raleigh Jacobs. He just had this voice. I can't explain it. It was almost like that old news reporter. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't do his voice, so I'm not even going to try. But it's just that classic. And there's a video Kenny Meisenhelder did of when they, after the last race at Riverside, it was like, remember Riverside? And he kind of was walking around the track as they were starting to tear it down. And just to hear that voice, every now and then I'll pop that DVD in and just hear that voice. And I feel like a kid again. Russ Dowd, hands down, just that deep voice. Like his voice is great. And then number 4, I mean, I got to hear him a little, but obviously he's going on to such bigger things as Mike Joy, another just iconic voice. So like anytime he would come back to Stafford, it was always just like, it's an iconic voice. And then my honorable mention is Bob Finan from Riverhead. And
not familiar with him.
He was that perfect, like, the way I always describe it, he was like the Phil Rizzuto of racing. He could sit there and just talk about things and then bang, get right. Oh, coming out of Ford, we're getting together. Oh, let me tell you, I was hanging out with the guys last night. We went to this great restaurant. You know, like, he was just like, to me, he understood that everyone's watching the race. They're going to see what's going on. I'm here to talk about the race, but I could entertain them a little.
Yeah.
And so Bob is my honorable mention in that of when I think of racing. Those are the 4 or 5 voices I think of.
All right. Still want me to go next?
I could go next.
All right, go ahead.
Because half of my list was on there, so it makes me feel a little better. So mine is all Stafford.
Shocker.
But I think Kyle Ricky's really good. He knows his stuff. I've seen
Kyle
his
does have
note.
a good voice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But like I said, it was kind of what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Sid and I go back years more.
Yeah.
Will Sid be that conversation? Or Sid,
Kyle.
Absolutely. But right now, is me sitting here.
Yeah.
But Kyle's very good at it. I can't wait for the day Bonza snaps and just slaps him.
It's coming.
It's coming. And I'm gonna antagonize it.
But it's going to be
I'll
great because like they have like when it's the both of them together, I feel like it's a like good connection.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it just flows very easily.
Are we talking about social media or when they call in a race?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Like whenever they're in a room, they're really good together. I feel like.
Yeah.
So that's why Bonzo would be my second one.
Wow. Okay. Bonza making the Mount Rushmore right off the rip. Good job there, B.
Congrats. Mike Joy.
Absolutely.
Yep. Legend.
And then the last one will be Ben Dodge.
Okay. Another legend. All right. Well done, Remy. All right. I'm going to hook you up with Russ Dowd's on my list. I used to like to call him the Vin Scully of short track racing.
Oh, my God. That's just a distinctive
Remember
voice.
going to Thompson and you would hear him on the PA? You're like, oh, yeah, that's what an announcer should sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great the Vince Scully.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
My next guy is Pete Falcone. Love Pete's voice.
Yeah.
Currently one of the voices at Loudon and was a longtime guy at his family ran Westboro Speedway, so he goes way back and in the near Hall of Fame. Then I'm going to hit you up with Joe Golis, who was a longtime Speedbowl guy, Stafford guy as well.
The name, because of my spending so much time at Waterford, it did cross my mind, but That is a good call with Joe.
Yeah, long time known as the voice of the Speedbowl, and did a lot of work with the checkered flag announcer. Actually, he was kind of like his right hand man for a long time. And then I'm gonna give you John Spence. Love John Spence's voice. I think he's easing into retirement at this point, but did the ISMA races in New England for a long, long time. Was the MRS guy for a long, long time. Did the Tri-Track Series for about a decade. And, he just has a tremendous voice. All these guys, I just love their voices. And then I'm going to give an honorable to my man, Derek Pernasiglio. I used to love him doing the pit reporting on the tour races.
Yeah. And his show is good, too.
Yeah, he's got good. Yeah, he does good content. Fellow graduate of the New England Technical Institute out there in Warwick, Rhode Island. Institute of Technology, I should say.
Oh, okay.
And and Kyle Rickey, actually. All three of us went to there for video production. Yeah. And Derek's the man.
The best is when Derek shows videos from when he was a kid doing the Long Island karting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny. So funny. But yeah, he's good. And he's good people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Every time I get a chance to talk to him, it's always,
Yeah. I used to like when they did the what's the dude's name there that he's collaborated with all the time? When they did the speed sports stuff.
Oh, Ralph Shaheen.
Yeah. That speed sports stuff they did was really cool. They used to do highlights. We used to send them highlights. Sid's View. We used to send them highlights back in the day. Yeah, Derek's always done. He's a good content creator, but I think he's got a really good voice too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Interesting that nobody picked Matt Buckler. I guarantee you, if Diego was here, he would have picked him. Buckler is.
He is iconic. What makes Matt is he had his shtick.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to put it. But to me, as much as I enjoyed Matt, he's just not like when I think of those voices, and it's not a knock on Matt. It's just he's not that. I hate to say it this way, but my voice of my youth, like. You would know Matt Buckler's doing a race when you start hearing the analogies.
Yeah.
Russ Dowd, all you had to hear was, welcome to Thompson Speedway. And you went, that's Russ.
Right.
And that's where my mindset was.
There's a whole generation that will think of Buckler like we think of Russ Dowd.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Sadly, there's I feel like we're at a dead end with the lineage of announcers.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Bonsa has announcing dreams is actually somewhat unique. Like nobody really wants to be a track announcer now.
Right.
Like Kyle before Bonsa, Kyle was like the last of that. I mean, and I guess
Joe Koss.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Joe Koss. Joe Koss. Yep, the other guy up at Loudon. That's true. Yep. So, but still, I mean, Joe and Kyle are in their 40s now, aren't they? So, I mean,
way to blow up their spot there, Sid.
I know. Sorry.
I thought Kyle was 85.
All right, did we miss anybody worth discussing on this one?
I mean, there's always going to be those peripherals.
That was good. That was the Golden Voices. We got it done.